Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Maddie Kuhn. I am your homemade method nutritionist and lead coach, and I'm joined here today by Donna, who's been in our method for 4 months now. Welcome, Donna. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're here today to celebrate Donna's amazing wins in the last 4 months of our method, enjoying our membership and cooking our delicious recipes. But let's start out at the beginning. How was your health prior to joining Homemade Method, and what was one of your lows prior to joining?
I've always been in pretty good health. Growing up, I kind of got my dad's metabolism, I think, because he was skinny and anything he wanted. And in my growing up, I was the same way. Up until after I had my first daughter, my first child. And then that was the first time I had even had to think about dieting or even thinking about what I ate. Um, but at that point, I tried the Atkins diet, which was a disaster. I had never had to, and I did lose weight, but I almost made myself sick. And they said, oh, well, when you give up the carbs, you won't, miss them. Well, not with me, because longer I went without, then I would binge and eat half of a cheesecake. I just so I gave that so I've been healthy most of my life, or all of my life pretty much. um I had to take medication for an ulcer at some point, but I was going through a lot of stress. And um so over the years, I've never gotten up real high in weight, um, because I get to a certain point and then it's like, okay, I've had enough. Um,
Yeah.
so I've never had like 50 or 100 pounds to lose. So I can't address that or speak, for that.
Fine.
The most I've gotten up is like 30 pounds over, my what I am now. Um, but so I've just basically tried different methods, and um the protein shakes. I won't mention the name, the name,
That's
but
okay.
it was a well-known brand, and I lost the weight. But typically I was, and once I would lose the weight, it was like, oh yay, I can have this now, I can have that now.
Yeah.
Which is an insane hamster wheel, because then over a period of time I would gain the 20 or 30 pounds that I would have lost. um so I just This is what's so great about the homemade method, is I'm not sitting here flailing trying to figure out where to go now that I've lost the weight. And
Yeah.
that's what I tell people. I said, what's great is just nothing's going to change. I've enjoyed the way of eating. And the last time that I lost, which was about 2 years ago, um, I just basically did, protein, the 4 ounces of protein, and um, the vegetables and stuff. But I just was not feeling that this time. And that's why, I don't know, it just popped up on my feed, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I got curious about the homemade method, um, because this time I was raised that we had 7 children. My mom and dad had 7 children,
Um,
and so I was raised on casseroles. And even though I like meat and vegetables and all of that, I was, this time I was more like, no, I want something that's going to taste good in the winter, the soups, the stews. So that's what intrigued me about this, was that it wasn't just, and the meal plans, they were just the ones that I had been involved in were horrendous, because I can't eat a boiled egg to save my life. And
yeah.
eat a boiled egg and a piece of toast and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And I'm not a big breakfast eater. I eat all my life, or my working life before. I worked the early shift. So
Mm,
my lunch was at 10 o'clock in the morning. I
yeah.
worked like 5:30 to 2:30 or
Yeah.
and so typically when I eat, it's when most people eat breakfast, but I eat lunch.
Yeah, that's fun.
People laugh at me because I'll be like, my friends are like, couldn't eat that. I was like, well, I'm used to it, so I eat it.
Yeah.
But so that's what I liked was being able to have the casseroles and the in a healthy way. Um,
Yeah.
and
I think your story is so sorry for interrupting. I think your story is so
listen,
relatable because you like so many women just like you like their weight was not an issue and then they started having kids and you go through this huge hormonal
right,
transformation, right? One of the biggest ones that you will have ever in your life. And you gain weight when you have kids. It is just part of the process.
right,
And so like helping your body recalibrate after you go through that in like serious hormonal shift, and then also continue to rebalance your blood sugars, your metabolism, all of
right,
that postpartum and for the years to come is such a challenge. And so
right.
many women just like you try out these diets and find that like they might work
They're
really
not
good.
sustainable.
Yes,
They're
but
just
they
not
do not create healthy eating habits that
right,
work long
right,
term. They are not delicious and they're not enjoyable.
right,
And so I'm so happy that you joined us and you just dove right into cooking. Your posts have been like amazing. You share all of these gorgeous meals you're cooking. They look so appetizing, and this is the reason that you've gotten the results. And I'd love for you to
right.
share what kind of results you've gotten in the program and just how you're feeling because you look incredible. I mentioned prior to recording that your skin is like glowing. You've got gorgeous skin. Like you've got like beautiful cheekbones, like amazing jawline, all of those things that
Yeah.
like I'm sure feel so good to show off. So I hope you're feeling confident in your skin now. But yeah, I would love to hear about your results.
Um, okay, I was I've lost 19 pounds since August.
Yeah.
Um, and I did forget to mention when you asked me about my health. I was diagnosed back in the 80s as being hypoglycemic.
Mm-hmm.
So typically, there's no medication for it. So I was just told I was supposed to follow the diabetic diet, basically. Um, but I'm the type I have to eat something sweet, air quotes, after a meal. I don't know. I'm just the way I was raised or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I can't have that, if I can't have a healthy, and that's what's been so incredible about this program is that I've been able to eat. I mean, and even to me, even the baked oats are a dessert for me.
Yeah.
Um, because I put yogurt on them, and at first I was putting honey in my yogurt, but now I pretty much just put the yogurt on there and the sweet that's in the baked oats, um, or whatever I eat with it, the dessert treat. Um, I've noticed, I used to get the sick hungry. I don't know what it's called. I guess when your blood sugar, it would crater after I would eat the sweets and the processed carbs.
Yeah.
Um, and it would create this ravenous hunger,
Yeah.
um, for me. And I, that, I mean, I get hungry, but it's kind of just, oh, wow, that's going to taste good, when I
Yeah.
eat it. It's not like, oh my gosh, if I don't eat, I'm going to pass out. It's not
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
Um,
what's happening is that you're able to keep a more stable
More
blood sugar
stable. Mm-hmm.
instead of going like high and then bottoming out and
Yeah,
crashing
bottoming
and
it.
then craving that quick release energy, which is
Right,
generally found in more processed, high carb meals, low fiber,
right, right.
just to get your blood sugars back up as quickly as possible. That's so hard. I
So,
also used to suffer with that when I wasn't watching what I was eating, and I totally can relate. It's really challenging and it makes you feel terrible.
right,
And
yeah.
it's really hard on like your gut health. It's really hard on your energy levels. It makes you feel moody and mad.
Right, exactly. And I've the acid reflux and the heartburn, that's gone away.
Yes.
Now
Oh my
I
gosh,
do,
amazing.
I'm not a intermittent fasting advocate, but for me, I drive a school bus,
Yeah.
and so I work 5:45 to 8:45, and then I go back in the afternoon and work 2:30 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Um, my challenge, my thing was when I would come home and eat in the evening, because I go to bed about 7:30 because I get up at 3:45.
Yes.
Um, and so that's my challenge was if I came home and ate, then I had heartburn all night. So I have kind of morphed into a form, I guess, of intermittent fasting because I eat from the I'm not hungry in the morning. It's too
Mhm.
early. I don't even want to look at anything.
Yeah.
So I eat from like 9 o'clock when I get home, from 9:30 until I leave for work at 2. So
Mhm.
basically it's like a 20 and 4
Yeah.
uh and I have been doing that, but it works out great because if I eat right before I go back to work, when I get off, I'm not hungry, and I
Yeah.
come home and go right to bed pretty much.
Yeah.
So even though, that's, I know I'm not advocating for that, but it has worked for me in
Well,
combination.
I think something that you're touching on is like you have to respect the schedule that you have to stick to, right? If
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
working and like you can't be munching on something while you're trying to drive, you have to you're in charge of keeping these children
Right.
safe.
Right.
You got to keep both hands on the wheel, which is very respectful. Um, just like respecting your schedule and then also listening to your body and like
Right.
eating when you're hungry. I think you're doing both of those things
Right.
and
And it
finding a
works.
rhythm that works for you, which is great.
Right. And like I said, in the morning when I come home, it's like, wow, that's going to taste really good when I eat it. But I'm
Yeah,
not like, oh my gosh, coming in here. And I don't overeat. I just, and the
amazing.
servings that are on the program are so awesome. They just, most of them are pretty right on for me as a, for my, some of them I can't finish, it'll say 2 servings, but it'll be 3 for me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty common.
yeah, so but that's just been I've eaten a treat or a dessert, sometimes 2 a day, and still lost weight. Now I don't not everybody might not be able to do that, but because I still have kind of a high metabolism, I think.
Yeah,
Um but that's what has kept me and has kind of got me not dreading it in, not dreading the diet, the program, is because
yeah,
I've been able to have my treats and my sweets. Um,
yes. We're not asking you to deprive your body.
right,
We're not asking you to like stick to these strict guidelines of like you can't eat at this time. You can only eat X, Y, and Z for this meal. We give you plenty of options that are delicious. And if you don't like something, we've got another option for you.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what some lady, I answered her post the other day, but she got on there and she said, "Well, where's the meal plan?" And I was like, "Well, that's the freedom of this, because if I'll eat fish, but it has to be mild. I don't do salmon. I can't.
Yeah. That's not for
So
everybody. That's okay.
it's not hard." And that's she said, "Well, what do you do? Just pick recipes?" And I said, "Yeah, because all of them are balanced. All of them
Yeah.
have what you need.
Yeah.
So it's that's the great part about it, is you can go in and pick any recipe, and it's gonna nourish you and give you what you need." And I mean, I'm so excited.
Well,
And I tell people, and I told the guy at work, one of my fellow drivers, and I said I was going to be interviewed. So he was shooting all these questions, and he was like, "See there, you came right back with answers for everything I asked." He was,
that's so sweet.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
How's your energy level? You seem super energetic. Like,
yeah. It's been
yeah.
bad. It's because when my weight gets up, and before I started on this, I would come home, and after I would eat, I would nap almost sometimes till time to go back to work.
Oh,
Um, but I don't feel that I get things done in between. And
wow.
yeah, I've done a sourdough starter, because they say the sourdough stuff is better for you. I don't eat a lot of bread really, but it's kind of become a hobby for me.
That's
Um,
awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
so I am just beyond. I'm like, okay, here I am. I've lost the weight. I'm where I want to be. Pretty much. I was like 145 almost. Now I'm down to like 125, 126.
Wow.
Yeah, so which is a good weight for me. That's a good.
Yeah. Well, you look incredible. It's been such
Thank
a
you.
pleasure talking with you.
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of you.
Thank
Four
you.
months, you've hit your goal weight. That's like, wow, what a gift. And you're going into the new year already
Yes.
having achieved your goal. All you got to do is keep it up and like
Hmm.
maintain the healthy eating habits that you've already created. Does that
And
feel doable to you?
yes, I saw the reset for the new year, and I was like, well, hey,
I'm good.
I'm good
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
It's um it's a testament to like when you commit to cook the food and you like that is a part of your daily ritual is to like cook healthy food for yourself, take care of your body.
Right.
You'll see the results.
It's a mindset. It really
Yeah.
is. But at first, but then once you get into it, it like propels you because
Yes.
it motivates you how good you feel and everything. So
Yes. Oh,
yes.
well, that really warms my heart. It's been
But
so
I
nice
love
chatting with
watching
you.
Lizzie, and tell Anna
Oh,
thank you for remembering.
yes. Oh my gosh. Chef Lizzie. She's amazing. Anna is
Yeah.
well. Thank you so much for sharing your
Well,
story with
thank you.
us, and we appreciate you.
All right. You guys take care.